This is the new BMW 1 Series. It's got a new look, a posher interior, a revised engine range, and quite a few features that you only normally find on bigger, more luxurious cars. However, the range now starts from £31,000, though this particular car I have here is £42,000, and it's not even the range topper. So, is it worth it? Well, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know in this video review. I'm Matt Watson, and you're watching Carwow. I'm going to start off the video with the inside of this car because I don't think any small hatchback feels so much like a big car or is as a luxurious feeling as this new 1 Series. So, materials on the dash feel lovely and squidgy. The design is pretty cool. Every single model gets this huge widescreen touchscreen here as well. Well, this part's a touchscreen. That's your digital driver's display. It's very responsive, look at that, and the colours are crisp and nice. The only problem is I find it a little bit confusing to use at times. So, yeah, you have to go into this menu there like that. I think older iDrive systems were better. Speaking of which, older iDrive systems had a swivel wheel, so if you didn't want to use a touchscreen, you could use a little wheel to turn to operate things. Not on this car, they've gotten rid of it. The digital driver's display is better than on previous BMWs though. There's lots of different views you can do. You can swipe through different menus and looks and stuff like that. It's got loads of information there for you. Plus, this particular car is optioned with a heads-up display. However, it is not all rosy. You see, if you dig a little bit deeper on this car, you'll find some materials that are worse than I've seen on any other BMW for the past 10, even 20 years. The trim here from this dual pocket, it's not great. But the worst bit is this, look. This trim here is horrendous. It almost makes the car feel a bit pre-production-y. Even Mercedes wouldn't pull that shit. That bit of trim is the kind of thing that you'd find on something like a Dacia, not a BMW. Also, the sun visors feel horrible and cheap as well. What's that all about? These little areas just let the car down, but the worst thing is the indicator stalks. They're just so flimsy and cheap sounding. Listen to this. It's like a Kia from about 20 years ago. What is going on? That's not something that I'd expect from a car costing 20 grand, let alone one that's £42,000. But maybe I'm being a bit harsh. You see, the range kicks off at £31,000 for the Sport, but you need to spend the extra £2,000, so 33 grand, to get the M Sport because you get some key upgrades like a more aggressive front bumper, M badging, and these wonderful M Sport seats, which I think are the best seats in any small car on sale right now. They are so lovely. There's something else you get if you have the M Sport, and that's M Sport suspension, which is very handy if you enjoy this sporty driving car. It stiffens at the dampers, so the car stays flatter through the bends, and it really does feel genuinely sporty. So the steering is responsive, plenty of grip, and yeah, this car can go down a twisty road as fast, well, faster than the speed limit would allow you. This normal version of the 1 Series does have a hot hatch vibe to it, it really does. And it's good fun, which could be what you're looking for. However, there is something you need to know. Believe it or not, BMW has removed the diesel engine from the 1 Series lineup. Why? Now all you can get is a 1.5 litre 3-cylinder turbo petrol with 170 horsepower. Actually has a mild hybrid system, so it's boosted by a little electric motor. And then there is the 2 litre turbocharged petrol in the M135i, which puts out 300 horsepower. That car's all-wheel drive. This one, which is the 1.5, is front-wheel drive, but all versions have an automatic gearbox. No manual is available. Anyway, what does that mean for the performance? This car is supposed to do 0 to 60 in 7.8 seconds, so let's see what it can really do. Now, the road is a little bit damp. You don't have a launch control on this particular model, so I'm not sure how it's going to play out. Let's do it anyway. Brake boost it. A little bit of wheel spin. Come on. Did a bit of a short shift there into third, but here we are. Oh, 0 to 60 in 8 seconds. Not quite as sporty as I hoped. Still, on the flip side, at least it looks quick, it really does. And there's a real racy look to the design of this car, especially the front. This bit here, these indentations remind me of those on the M3, but without the kind of Bugs Bunny teeth, silly beaver face grille. Wheel sizes start at 17 inches on the Sport, rising to 18s on the M Sport and going up to 19 inches if you have the M135. This particular car is fitted with the M Sport Pack Pro. So that includes some styling upgrades such as M Sport brake calipers in red. You also get the Shadow Line pack, which is like darker trim bits around the windows and such. Inside you get the tricolor on the seat belts, love that. You also get the M steering wheel as well. And the pack also includes this spoiler. Guess how much it is though, the pack? It's £2,075. What? Here at the back, it's quite a good looking car. I'm not convinced though by this fake diffuser, and I'm a little bit disappointed you can't see the exhaust pipe. It's hidden underneath. Obviously you can on the M135. Now, can you spot something a little bit odd about the back end of this car that's a bit different to other 1 Series from the past? Something to do with numbers? Let me know in the comments. I'm not going to tell you. Now, I must apologise for how dirty this car is. I'd like to show you this beautiful purple paint. Now, you probably wouldn't go for this purple paint if you're buying it with your own cash, but if you're leasing it, you'd have to worry about depreciation because it's all built into the cost. You could go for something exciting like this paint scheme, and that's what I would do. In fact, I'll tell you what I'd also do. If I'm thinking about leasing a car, I would click on the pop-out banner appearing in the top right-hand corner of the screen, or I'd scan the QR code on screen now using my mobile phone to go to CarWow Leasey. Yes, you can now lease a car through CarWow. Now, I do want to show you something. So this is one of the reasons we didn't wash the car. Honestly, it's not because we're lazy. It's because I want to illustrate this. With many cars, I criticise the fact that the rear window wipers are very small and they don't clear much of the rear window. However, on this BMW, have a look at this. I'll stand back. Look how much of the windscreen it's sweeping. You can stop now, I'm getting wet. That is actually really good. That's less good, but anyway. I'll tell you what I do like though. Can you show us the lights? I think the light design's quite nice. This is what they look like at the front. That brings us on to 5 cool features about the new 1 Series. The 1 Series is available with something called BMW's Reversing Assistant. It allows the car to retrace its steps, so if you're driving in somewhere, it'll just play your driving backwards. And you don't have to do anything, it'll turn the wheel for you. So I'll show you this happening now. They've just driven that car past me, so come on then. The driver is not going to touch the steering wheel, and look, it's going to go around me. At least I hope it's going to go around me. Is it? Oh, where's my feet? Worry. No, it's all fine, look. Yay! Clever, clever, clever. Now, that feature is part of the Tech Pack Pro, and it costs £2,750, but includes other bits and pieces like the heads-up display, the adaptive LED lights, and keyless entry. You can get the car with a panoramic glass roof, which does make it feel lighter inside. It even opens, look. Oh, yeah. However, it's a £1,050 option. You can get the car with a Harman Kardon surround sound system, and it's absolutely banging. However, it does cost an extra £550. You can choose from these different colours of interior lighting, and they'll display here and other parts on the edge of the dash. But when you go into sports mode, look, you get the M tricolor colour. Lovely. You can get proper 3-way folding seats, so with through loading. Look at that. Nice. Nice. I like that. There is a £175 option. There is one problem with all those different options you have to pay extra for, deciding which ones you should get with the car. Do you know what? To help you out, I've spec'd up my ideal BMW 1 Series, the engine, the trim level and the options. If you want to find out what that car is and the saving on it through CarWow, click on the pop-out banner appearing in the top right-hand corner of the screen, or scan the QR code on screen now with your mobile phone if you're watching on smart TV. However, that does bring on to 5 annoying things about the new BMW 1 Series. There's no physical buttons for the climate control. You have to do everything through the screen, which is a bit of a faff, so you have to hit that and you've got to turn it on. They have these little icons for the fan speed and go away. Oh, and if you want automatic climate control, it's actually a £480 option. This sloping roof line actually makes it all too easy to bang your head when you're getting into the car. So I've done it quite a few times. You just catch it there like that, It's just lower than you expect. Unless you're in sports mode, you have this stupid thing instead of a rev counter. It's a power meter. I know this is a mild hybrid and you want to see how efficient or how much power you're using, but can't we just have a rev counter, please? What's wrong with a rev counter? The key for this car feels very, very cheap, but they do give you this little leatherette pouch, and it's got this special thing to help lift the key out of the pouch. See that mechanism in there? However, if you put this in like that, it's so tight that you absolutely can't get it out using that thing. You just can't. So if you want to get it out, you need a screwdriver. you can sort of like, oh, cries it out. Oh, there we go. Not very good, is it? In the past with BMWs, you change the driving mode by pressing a button down here. Now there's still a button down here to press, but that doesn't change the mode. Look, it just brings up a menu and then you have to press the blooming screen. So it's now a two-step process. It's a bit of a faff when you're trying to get into sport. So I know I want to go into sport. I'm obviously going to be driving quickly, but I'm going to take my eyes off the road to go into sport. Brilliant. You see, when you're driving at lower speeds or, you know, pulling in or out of junctions and you need a sudden burst of pace, like you put your foot down, and if you're in normal mode, the engine and gearbox can just be caught floundering. Whereas if you go into sports mode like that, and I'll do the same, it's just on it much quicker. Now there's another thing with this car that isn't as good as its competitors, and that's the turning circle. You see, it's 11.7 meters. Its competitors are around the 11 meters mark. Let's just test out the maneuverability. I'm going to put the camera thing up because I'm going to use this for help. So actually the light steering's helping me out here. Visibility is actually pretty decent, to tell you the truth, apart from the big blind spot caused by the back pillar. But these cameras and stuff like that really do help you out. So it does make the maneuvers easier than they might be when you consider that it's not quite, you know, physically as maneuverable as its competitors. In fact, the turning circle on this car is slightly worse than on the old 1 Series, which is odd. And there's something else that's not quite as good as on the old 1 Series. If you're changing your car, then you've got to check out CarWow, because there's nothing quite like knowing that you're getting a great price, both when selling your old car and finding a new one. CarWow makes all the stuff that's hard work about car changing, like the haggling, the no-shows, and the nasty surprises, a thing of the past, life-changing. Now, if you want to go to CarWow right now, I'll put a link in the description of this video and the pinned comment. Alternatively, you can click on the pop-out banner appearing in the top right-hand corner of the screen now, or scan the QR code on screen using your mobile phone to go directly there. Car change, CarWow. Bizarrely, if you have the 2-litre version of this car, the 135, then you have a big capacity of 380 litres. On this version though, the 120, it's 300 litres. That's because of the mild hybrid system. Look, it eats into boot space. See this under there? That's your underfloor storage. If you have the M135, you get all of that space as underfloor storage. However, there is one benefit of the mild hybrid system. You see, the mild hybrid system can fill in the torque gap when you put your foot down before the turbocharger spools up. So in other cars, you put your foot down and like you got to wait for a second until the car comes on boost, then it finally starts accelerating. Whereas this, there's just like on it that little bit sooner, which just makes the engine feel more responsive. And often you forget that it's just 1.5 litres. It feels pretty rapid when you just dab the throttle. That's good. See what's also good, it's reasonably relaxing to travel in. These seats are lovely, the way they hug your body. There's hardly any wind noise, just the odd flutter from around the big door mirrors. The only thing you really notice is the road noise from the tyres. That's similar to the old 1 Series. So too is the economy. So this particular version is supposed to do about 47 miles to the gallon. I'm averaging 42, but then that's what I'd expect from the previous generation 1 Series. And there's something else that's similar to. In the back, it feels about as spacious as the old 1 Series. So, knee room, it's all right. Headroom, I'm fine, but really tall people might struggle. So it's not great for carrying 3 people in the back at once. It's a bit of a squeeze.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer?
And people over 6 foot, especially if they're on the outer seats, are going to end up banging their head against this curved roof line here. When it comes to fitting a baby seat, there's enough room for a baby seat. We just can't fit it on the Isofix, even though the Isofix is easy to get to, because we don't know how to operate this baby seat. It seems a bit broken and a bit crap. It's also not a rear facing one, so let's just see if we had a rear facing one, if there'd be enough room. Probably just. However, there is an area where this car is rather good. It's the in-car storage. So look, door bins, you can fit a big bottle in them, and there's more space here. You've also got storage under here. The glove box, it's not the largest, but it's still a reasonable size and shape. You've got 2 cup holders here. You've got your wireless charging pad there. You've got 2 USB-Cs and a 12-volt socket. There's 2 more USB-Cs here. And if I fold this down, we've got 2 cup holders, plus The door bins in the back are large. Go on, go on, go in, go in. Oh, yes. So, how does that affect my verdict? Should you avoid, consider, shortlist, or just go right ahead and buy the new BMW 1 Series? Well, I reckon you should shortlist it. It really is a good, premium feeling small car. It's just a little bit expensive. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a like. Let me know what you think of it in the comments below. Click on the video windows for some more videos and on the CarWow logo to see how much you can save on your next car. Thanks for watching.